Hey, can you tell us a little bit about what Inspire's mission and vision is?
Yes, so we have a mission statement. I'm going to read it exactly word for word as it is written. Inspire Church exists to empower families to cultivate a deep faith in Jesus and reach wide to our community and beyond and multiply biblically grounded disciples who transform lives.
I love that, but there's two words in particular that really stood out to me, and it's the word deep and the word wide. Isn't that, I just love how that's language that we've talked a lot about at church, and it's because it's part of our mission and vision. But can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So deep and wide, those two words are really important. They're not words that we thought about in this context. We've kind of stolen those words. We've co-opted those words to kind of say this. We think that churches have a tendency to do one or the other. So either you are deep, you grow deep in your faith as a church, but you don't grow wide to the community, or you grow wide to the community, but what ends up happening when you're a church that just grows wide is people don't really necessarily grow deep in their faith, and they kind of feel unsettled after a while when they want to grow deep in their faith. It's easier to be a church that focuses just on one or the other. It's harder to be a church that actually does both, but we think it's actually better. We think that we could actually do both, that we can simultaneously grow deep in our faith and we can grow wide to the community. And so we think it's a much richer idea of a vision. And so that's why those two words are in that mission and vision statement.
Awesome. Can you share a little bit about our passion to reach kids?
Yeah, so the way we talk about this is really important. And we say this, that our vision here at Inspire starts with young people. It doesn't mean we don't care about other demographics. It doesn't mean that we don't care about people who are older adults. It just means that we start with young people. We start with the needs of young people. We start with thinking like young people. What does a young person want? How does a young person think? What are the types of conversations that a young person is having, or the types of questions that they have? What kind of programs should we offer to be able to help young people, to help their parents and their grandparents, those who are raising those kids or grandkids? And the passion really is this, is that there are young people leaving the church in droves these days. And we want to be a church that raises up the next generation. So our church doesn't simply die off. I mean, there's research that shows that about 50% of young people will leave the church within about 18 months of graduating from high school. But there's also research that suggests that only about 20% of those people who leave, those young people who leave, actually wanted to leave. So you have about 4 out of 5 young people who intend to stick with faith, but they end up drifting. And so we kind of say, hey, what would it look like for us to equip those young people well with what faith looks like beyond high school, and help equip and resource those parents and grandparents who are helping to raise those kids? And so that's a little bit about our mission and vision and why we start with our vision at young people.